Welcome to WO50, Women Over 50 in Body Wisdom and Wellness.
Hello, my name is Corrine, and I'm here with my best friend for so many years, Dr. Eddi Canny. And today our topic is action versus distraction, a purposeful life using focused attention.
That's a loaded one.
Yeah, this is like a topic you and I have been talking about for a very long time, since probably our 20s. And for me, I've understood it on many different levels and different ways over the years. And even still, the last couple of years, understand it even more.
Oh, I love it. We talked about vision boards and how to create the life we want, or some tools to get there. And, we talked about lots of things.
Yeah, the most important, there's some good, it's congruency is key. That's one of my favorite words. And Eddi came up with it, dream it, see it, and achieve it. Yeah, so we came up with some good language to help deepen your understanding of living a purposeful life.
Yeah, cut, paste, and conquer.
Oh, enjoy.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, my BFF.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Just a little, we're squeezing in a podcast here because it's a busy time of year for us. My family was here for my birthday this week. I think I had like one of the best birthdays I've ever had.
That's great. That's
Isn't
great.
It?
Yeah.
It was surprisingly, it was pretty darn cool. I don't know what it was. I think last year I was so concerned about turning 60 that I was all focused on that. And it was, I didn't like the word. And so this year I didn't even pay attention to the number because like once it's over, so 60, I didn't even think about that. And I just I made plans with, I had my family coming in on the birthday itself, my niece and my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law's never been here before. And then I started, so that was like a Monday. And then the Friday before, so 3 days before, I had ordered another cake. So I had like 2 cakes, and I went to dinner with friends. And then we had like group meditation on Sunday, and we had a potluck afterwards. And then my family arrived. And then, so we've been kind of celebrating, it's not just about me. It's just connecting and celebrating life is what it feels like, right?
Yeah, it makes you feel alive, doesn't it? It's so much love in the room and so much sharing and caring, and it's yummy. It's yummy.
It's yummy. And it's always, if a person is ever wondering if they should send somebody a birthday message and just say how grateful they are to them, like if that thought crosses your mind, do it. Even if you think the person doesn't need it or whatever, it won't mean anything. Like I don't know, I had a couple hundred messages on Facebook, which was flipping amazing. And it wasn't just a happy birthday. It was like, and that would be fine too. Like happy birthday is awesome too. But it was just some really nice messages and personal messages. And then my 2 nieces and my nephew, who are all like ages like 20, 22, 25, 26, they each wrote me like the most beautiful paragraph of what I mean to them.
Sweet.
Just so thoughtful.
It's almost like a vision board.
It is almost like a vision board.
Oh my God. If you could picture that and envision that, that's exactly what you'd want from your family.
The love. Indeed, indeed, indeed. And that is our topic today is action versus distraction. Like we all know distraction, of course, but action, what's the difference? And so we're going to talk about creating a purposeful life using focused attention. And what does that even mean? And Eddi, you came up with what were those 3 sayings that we're going to focus on? Dream.
What?
Dream it.
Oh, if you can dream it, you can achieve it, right? I wrote it down. Dream it, see it, achieve it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
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 And it can be, I loved how when we talked about doing this, because I was so distracted with my family, talking about distractions. Yeah. Which is good. That's a good thing. That I said, Eddi, can you please, it's a topic I had no bandwidth, and you had this wonderful title and idea to talk about this. And even the little dream it, achieve it. It's one of my favorite topics is
it's interesting. Manifesting and envisioning is one of my favorite topics too. And even years ago when they did vision boards, and I love to call them action boards because it's like you're putting things on, and we can talk about like how to make one if we like, right? But you're putting things that you want in your life, like you really believe it, and believing something is setting that energy in motion, which we talked about on one of our other podcasts. And for some reason, the magic happens, right? The energy starts getting drawn towards it. And is it because you're looking at it every day and that you're just post noting it in your head? Like it's like
it's
what's
like
the
it's not.
power?
Yeah, we'll talk about all of that, like the different, and also too, I want to link to, if I can, I'll do it. If not, I can tell you the title of it. But Eddie and I both listened to this podcast in the last few weeks that we loved, on Mel Robbins' podcast, and it was with a neuroscientist, Dr. Tara. She's from the UK, and she talked about, she's a neuroscientist, and she talks about the actual scientific evidence of manifestation and creating. And she talked about vision boards. Here's this major scientist talking about vision boards, and so she talks about the scientific, the attraction of the mind and all
Well, and
that.
when she started out, just in the science world, and she said, this talk about manifesting, and if you can see it, and believe it, you draw it to you, and she goes, I just thought that was just so bogus, but she said it in her really lovely British accent, like she talked like this, and it's really nice to listen to. Mine is all mixed up. It
I
sounds
was a
South
little
African.
Cockney right there, but
It's a little bit Irish, a little bit of, who knows what it is. But she was great because she said as she studied more and more, and then they did the MRIs and watched the activity of the brain and what lit up when people were manifesting, that there was an actual energetic pull, right? And I love that. So it's a really, her language, and when you listen to it, is beautiful. And so Mel interviewed her, and I loved it. It's really
and then
good.
and then when we started talking before we pressed record today, I love this distinction. You said, you can create it for anything. Like you can create a vision board or intentions for your health.
Yeah,
It
for
doesn't
your
have to
health.
be about your life purpose, or what a lot of times it's for,
Yeah.
or a lot of times we think about vision boards for your a whole encompassing, like everything, like where is it that you want to be for a year. Like there's a lot of different ways to
Travel.
do
Like
it.
I remember doing one, and I was really broke, and I did this little vision board, and certain type of car I wanted, and where I wanted to travel, and um things I wanted to dress in, the outfits, and I had magazines everywhere, and I had pictures cut out of it, and I'd pasted them on the board, right? And years later, I'm just gluing stuff when I do a vision board. I'm like, yep, that's what I'm going after. And then it's like, and now it's more health and well-being, and is it a well-being retreat? Do I want to write this kind of song? Do I want to write a book? Like, it's not about stuff. It's interesting how it's changed, you know? Like it could even be a trip somewhere. You can cut something out of a magazine, and like the doc said on Mel's podcast, she said when she did one years later, she's looking back at her board, and it was Rio de Janeiro was in these little small letters. She just cut out the beach. She didn't, but it was Rio where she went. So, that's pretty powerful, right? So those are wow, and that's going into your subconscious, right?
Yeah, because you think about anything in your life, even where you
Mm-hmm.
are at in your life now. It If you think of a specific thing that you have in your life right now that you feel like you had a part in creating, or it's something like Ivy House, for instance. I remember when I saw this house, when Katrina owned this house, we 23 years ago now. I did a walkthrough with her when she was going to buy it, and I was like, wow, I'd love to live in a house like this one day. And that was just a passing thought. And then
Yeah.
10 years later, I moved in, and then now it's been 13 years now.
Yeah.
So a manifestation begins with an intention.
Mhm.
Intentions are powerful. The most subtle things in the world are the most powerful. A seed, a wind that can turn into a hurricane. a mantra, a Sanskrit mantra that's so subtle that it can create peace in your peace of mind. And so it starts as like a subtle thought, a subtle intention. And then when it's something that we really want in our lives, then we might talk about it with friends. So then there's more, like maybe it becomes more of a focused attention, talking about it. And then naturally what happens is there's then begins to be action steps around it. So everybody's doing it all the time. They're just maybe not doing it consciously. And there's still going to be things in your life that you're going to manifest, maybe not consciously. But if you can, have some focused attention and think about what it is you want, where you want your life to go and do, it can be very empowering, very empowering.
Exactly. And even if it's to put good health on your board, right?
Yes.
You just on your poster board or chalkboard or whatever it is, piece of paper that you're using, a cloth, whatever. If it's good health, well, you're you can see it in your vision. Are you taking action towards it? Like, are you walking? Are you eating a green vegetable tomorrow? Are you adding in a piece of fruit? Are you going for a massage? Like, what are some of the action steps you're doing to get to that good health? Because yes, you can vision it, have it in your vision, in your thought, but if you're still sitting down eating potato chips and candy every night and not getting out and walking, and it's not going to, you know, add up quickly to get you there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well,
it's, it's,
I always say 1 + 1 = 2, so you can see in your life your actions and
yep.
how it's creating your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Tony Robbins say this years ago. If you don't want any weeds in your garden, if that's what you want to manifest, you can't just sit around meditating. There's no weeds. There's no weeds.
Yeah.
There's no weeds. You've got to
Yeah.
actually take the action to pull the weeds,
That's
right?
right. And that's the revealing piece, right? So then it's the manifestation. Because that's kind of what I said to you earlier. It's like we want the healing and then the revealing and then the manifesting, and it's the focused intention, and the vision board is really an action board. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like to call it a vision action board
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it just ties the two together, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like you can't have one without the other. And
Mm-hmm.
we can sit around and think and wish. Same with relationships. Somebody wants a partner in their life. Well, write down the qualities you want, and
Mm-hmm.
and then sit down with yourself and go, do I match those qualities?
That's
If
right.
this is what I'm looking for, they're healthy, they're, doing their personal growth, they want to travel, da 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 da, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's
Will it match you?
Yeah, exactly. That's really good points. And I've if you've never done a vision board before, if you've never been drawn to it, or if you've done a bunch of them and nothing has happened, or if you've done some and things have happened, even to look at what's worked for you, it's interesting to see, like, that action step is so important, because I think what we tend to do is we'll dream something in our head, like, I'd like to do that someday, but then we don't sort of write down the steps or take the actions. And so we're not really aligned. It's alignment, congruency. I love that word. Congruency is key.
Mm-hmm.
And the example I have for this is a friend of ours in India. He's a teacher, a guru named Werner. And he spent like 20 years in silence in a cave. And I remember sitting with him one time in India, and there was this Belgian guy who asked a question. And he said, "So I want to quit smoking." So Werner says, "Okay." And then the Belgian guy goes, "But I really like smoking." And then Werner says, "Okay." And he goes, "But I really think I should quit." And Werner's like, "Okay." And he goes, but I like, so his what he wanted to have happen there wasn't congruency in it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why when you're writing things down or creating, however it is that you do it, because there's many different ways, is you have to have this emotion. The emotion is very important. That's the attraction part. How do you feel about it? And one of the most powerful ways to do it is gratitude, as if you already have it. Jesus talked about it. Ask
Mm-hmm.
as if it has already been given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open to you. And ask as if it has already been given to you. So that means you see it in your life before it's there, but you're full confidence. You're just like so grateful to the universe, and you can see it, feel it, touch it, like even before it's there. You can't, there's some steps where you can fake it until you make it, but you've really got to embody and have that confidence with it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, when you said that, what came into my head was some people want an image of that. So whatever that is, even if you clipped out a picture of something that embodies what that is, there's the visual for you. It might be words. So maybe a quote gives you that feeling. So write that down on your board. Vitamin G, gratitude, write that up in the corner. Like start writing things or pasting things that resonate with you, that give you that feeling. So then when you hang up that little piece of paper, it could be an 8 by 10 square, it could be a poster board, and always leave space on it because you want more things, or more feelings or more shifts and changes to happen in your life. So we leave space for the wonderment, right? I wonder, if you list, I want to travel to certain places, leave the space because sometimes you get to go to a place you never dreamed you'd go to, but it was still in that feeling, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
still, we
Yeah.
always say what you dream but sometimes things happen where what is it? The best things happen when you haven't planned it, you know? So having these visions, it's beautiful. And I remember, Corinne, I was with you and it was at one of your really good friends, and I call her a friend too, Roseanne, her store. And I bought on a piece of wood that I have on my shelf in my office. I call it my little mini vision board. All it says, and I packed that in my suitcase, and that's a long time ago. Her store was newly opened out in Franklin, right?
Mm-hmm. Still there.
And yes, and it said big little girls with big dreams become women of vision.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that little quote is on that piece of wood, and I went, I love that. And every time I'm in my office, I mean, I see it every day.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I'm going, okay, yeah, I have big dreams, and entrepreneurs have big dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we start writing things down and making like little plans, when we can see it a little bit, it's like, oh, this is the kind of office I want. This is the way I want, my book stand to be, or the way I want my patients to face me. I mean, those are, yeah,
You do it all the time with clothes. We all have
I
stuff that's
do.
easy for us, but you will send me a picture before you come to Nashville of a certain pair of boots or a certain jacket or a certain look. That's what I want, you'll say. And you will get it every time, and you'll get it at the
Mm.
price you want
Yeah,
every time.
it's wild because I do it and I have it on a picture. Like I take a snapshot, these boots, and it's like the last time. It's so funny because, as you get older, it's just like, no, that's enough. I don't want to collect shoes. And when I buy things and they're worn out and I'm going to buy something else, I pass it along. I'm really good at decluttering, and
You are. Yeah.
we do that with our vision board. Take stuff off as soon as it's
Yeah.
happening. Take it off your board. Add
Mm-hmm.
something else. Same with your
Mm-hmm.
closet. So, I said to Corinne, I know I got to find these sneakers, and they got to have a little platform, and they got to be white and leather and lace up this way. Here, I'll show you a picture. She sees it, goes, I don't know where you're going to find those. And I think we're out in LA. And I'm like, oh, there's a shoe store. I bet they're in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for like $30. I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
half price. I was like, let's do it.
And it
Yeah,
may
it's great.
seem silly to talk about manifesting a pair of shoes, but it's also beautiful, and it's this, it requires the same energy and focus to as your health, as
Mm-hmm.
a trip. It's really, it's the
Mm-hmm.
same mechanics. And so sometimes to practice on smaller things. So Eddie's like super confident about that and does it all the time. She loves it, she enjoys it, she's good at it. So then you can, like, use that, all the stuff you feel about how you manifest different outfits and things, and use that for other things you want in your life, whether it's the house you want to retire in or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or another trip you
Yeah.
want to take. use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's good to do, like when, sorry to interrupt, but
Okay.
with houses even. Well, now as we get older and we're planning, everybody's, a lot of people are downsizing or shifting in that. Well, having visions of what you want, like whether it's watching shows that talk about people, retiring in the community in a little village in England. And, I watch all these shows to see what's going to resonate with me.
Mm-hmm.
And people say that, ooh, I watched Design and Build, or I watch Home Improvement, or and I got an idea for a kitchen, like sometimes it's simple things like that, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Oh yeah.
Eh, It's those little steps, it's the same with getting fit. I want to be fit. I want to, if people gained a little weight over the winter or they are always dealing with it. Then what is it? How do you see your body? How do you see yourself? What's your vision of beauty or
Mm-hmm.
in shape? What
Mm-hmm.
does that picture look like?
Mm-hmm. And is it unrealistic? Is it, of course, all of us want to look like, amazing. And especially in our
Yeah.
culture, it's conditioned what we find attractive kind of thing. But is it something that you're willing to work for to get that? And like my brother, he works out, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours a day. He's 64 and looks amazing, muscles and just very, very fit, super healthy. But man, that guy's disciplined beyond what I've ever
Yeah.
experienced before. And I'm not willing to do that to look like to have that kind of body. I'm just not willing to do it,
It's a lot of maintenance, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. So are you willing to take the steps too to for your dreams too? So
Yeah.
and I want to talk a little bit too about the distraction part of it. And I guess an example is like because life just especially these days goes by so fast, right? And so
Hmm.
we can have a week go by when we haven't spent any time on whatever, like our health or whatever, when we haven't exercised or worked out or eaten healthy, or, say you want to manifest a
Yeah.
trip and you spent, you've just been distracted with a bunch of other things. So it's really important it's fine to be distracted sometimes. My family's in town this week. I'm getting done what I need to get done, sort of the bare minimum, and then
Yeah.
distracted with my family being here, but I'm happily distracted because to me that's part of life is being able to be flexible. But a
Hmm.
lot of times, you know 6 months or even a year or sometimes 2 years can go by and so quickly, and you'll look back on a vision board you created 3 years ago and you haven't spent time. And if you
Hmm.
look at it, you think, some people are like, nothing has happened. But if you done the steps and put the attention on it.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like walking into the shoe store and there's 5,000 other pairs of shoes, but you know what pair you want to get. So you stay focused. You're not distracted by all the others around you.
Yeah.
You're zoned in on, nope, nope. This is because you can be distracted and
Yeah.
buy boots and heels and whatever, right? The wrong shoes, but knowing, no, and it's a simple analogy, but it's pertinent because it's what you want to do. You want to put action in place to achieve that vision, what you're
Hmm.
focusing in on. It's like watching a tiger in the woods, when you watch these nature shows and they're zoomed in, right? They're in the zone, they're
Hmm.
uber focused. They catch their prey.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
don't, they're not hearing the
The owl.
tree or the
Yeah.
wind or the owl or the
Hmm.
bird or the mouse that just ran across. They're ready to pounce, right?
Hmm.
And it's really wild to watch the animal kingdom, or just how that focus is. The eagle when they're going in to get that fish, or even athletes when you watch them, the eyes, they're locked in, and they're, I watched one of our guys here, he won gold, Brad Gujou, in curling. That, in the US, a lot of people were like, curling? What? You're throwing a rock down the ice? He's amazing to watch because he's the best in the world, right? And he's from here,
Hmm.
Newfoundland. He's number one in the world. He's won so many medals. Great, great guy. But man, when the camera zooms in on him and he's focused, because curling's been his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his eye is on where that rock is going to land, and
Mm-hmm.
it's being thrown. A 42-pound stone is being sailed across the ice, and it lands accurately almost every time. He's 90 to 100%.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
It is. Yeah.
Like, that's knowing your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see his vision board, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
might have it in his head, but he could. I don't know. He might. I should call him and ask him. We should interview him. So, yeah, that's the kind of focus, that we need if we want to achieve it, especially as we're getting older, and we're going, oh, time's getting away on us. Well, use that time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Time is a precious gift, and
Mm-hmm.
we certainly can waste. I'm very conscious of how much time I spend, like on Instagram or Facebook or something, because I'll I'll be, on it for 15, 20 minutes, and it'll seem like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't, and it's fine if I'm doing something that I want to do, but my time is valuable. Your time and your attention is your most valuable commodity,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sacred. And so I want to, and that's okay. It's fine to, have be frivolous with your time sometimes, but also to have that focused attention and to do something a little bit every day towards where you want to go. It is
Mm-hmm.
simply 1 + 1 = 2. Where your attention
Yeah.
goes, energy flows. And I'm gonna post also too. Like, I'm not sure. Sometimes YouTube doesn't let me link, and on the in the notes below. But there's a specific manifestation board, a vision board that I love to share with people. It's in my playlist on YouTube, and it's a corporate woman who's giving a lecture, and I think it's like 10 years old now, but it definitely focuses on action. So she'll have this big paper, which I've done in my, at Ivy House before with a lot of different people over the years, and I've done it. And on the left-hand side of the board, you kind of draw, and it's really, she talks about the importance of drawing, because a lot of people are insecure about drawing. Like, I suck at drawing. Like, Eddie's a great artist, and I am not an artist at all. Like stick figures,
Some days are
but
good.
yeah, but you draw because it connects your left and right hemisphere of your brain. So, because your right hemisphere is your dreaming, and your left is your analytical, your steps. So a lot of times, if you dream something and then you don't write it down, or you don't draw it, the left side of your brain will start to be negative and say, oh, you'll never do that, you can't do it, it'll talk you out of it. So if you actually draw, then you're engaging both sides of your brain. So that's the premise of this specific technique that I like. And so
Nice.
yeah, so I'll try to link it, and if I don't end up being able to link it, just email me, or text me and ask me for the link. So on the left side of the page, you draw where you are in your life now. Like, so I would draw picture of the Ivy House and of the garden and the kids in India and my family and my guitar. And then on the right, so your page is in thirds. And on the right side of the page, you draw where you would like to see yourself in 1 year. And you could do this just for your health. You could do this just for a trip, or you could do this what you want to see in a year. It's up to you. You can do it for smaller things or big things or one thing. And then the middle is 3 arrows going from the left to the right, and it's 3 bold action steps that you need to take to get you from where you are to where you want to go. And that's the
Beautiful.
key, and why I love that one so much. And she also talks again, like, about the mechanics of it, why it works. And I've had so many people over the years that have done this at
Yeah.
Ivy House that have manifested so much in their lives with this. Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect. What a great start.
Yeah.
That's great. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes.
Cut,
Yeah.
paste, and conquer.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely. Yeah.
And all
So,
these people that love, the little scissors that cut the shapes and the designs, and remember I used to do all those
oh
little
yeah.
photo albums and dress them up, and yeah, you can add whatever you like to it all, but that's the whole point, is the action. It's the
Mm-hmm.
action. I wrote down a quote earlier that I did a workshop years ago with this guy Bruce Lipton. You know Bruce,
Mm-hmm.
and Bruce
Yep.
has done lots of stuff, and he said, When we truly recognize that our beliefs are that powerful, we hold the key to the freedom.
Yeah. Yep.
When we truly recognize that our beliefs are that powerful, that's the feeling, that's the energy,
Yeah.
that's the manifesting,
Yeah.
right? That's the action. That's the I believe it, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can what do I do to achieve it? You know? What
Yeah, it's like
steps do I take?
if you believe you can, and if you believe you can't, you can't.
You can't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's in the belief. If you believe you can lose 10 pounds and you set a goal, and if you say, "Well, I can't lose 10 pounds." Okay. Well, you can't tomorrow, but you can over the next 2 to 3 months, maybe
Mm-hmm.
over 2 to 3 weeks, but
Mm-hmm.
no, you won't lose it tomorrow. So there's actual reality.
Yes.
And then it's like, well, okay, what shall I put in motion? Well, let me just remove white sugar today. First action step. Next one, let me get 5 minute walking in. That's pretty easy, right? Third one, let me drink more water. Let's see what happens. Where am I now? I drink no water. Where am I in the future? Drinking 6 to 8 glasses a day, maybe 6 glasses, maybe 4 works for you. We know our hydration limit when we actually are hydrated,
Mm-hmm.
because that means our skin feels good. We're pooping every day. We're not, spitting out pellets through our bum. We're getting this like Dr. Oz said, these snaky, S-shaped poos. I'm like, I don't care what vowel it's the shape of. It just needs to come out like a shape.
Oh, I haven't heard you say that one before. That's cool.
I say that in my office sometimes. So yeah, so that's really nice, right? Just to have the whole.
Reminder.
I love that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the reminders, and add the personal touches and pictures and photos of maybe where you are and where you want to be. Right? Stick
Mm-hmm.
your face on the body that you. I used to do that. I used to put it on my fridge. I would work out and, I'd like a certain athlete and then I'd stick my face on that body. And I'm going, yep, that's it. That's it. Or the
That's
hairstyle, right?
awesome.
Jennifer Aniston, right? So here I am with a bob and bangs, and I want long flowing hair like, well, I got it now.
Yes, you do.
It only took 50 years, but hey, I had a vision.
Didn't take that long. You've had the
No,
good
I'm
hair for
kidding.
a long time.
Yes, yes,
Since as
yes.
long as we've had Bev.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's knowing what you want. Good health is real important to me. You
Yes.
know, if I want
And
to learn a recipe, well, you got to get the ingredients, don't you?
mm-hmm. Yep. It is
Yeah.
math. It's not a big mystery. But if you just sit around thinking about what you want to do and you don't take the actions and think about if there's congruency with it, if it's, you want to travel to a certain place, but you're afraid to fly or whatever it is, like you've really got to look at the congruency of your beliefs, your thoughts about it,
Mm-hmm.
your gratitude, where you can see yourself there or
Mm-hmm.
with the person you want it, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
I
truthful.
remember I remember on the podcast when Mel was interviewing this lovely gal, Dr. Tara, right? I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah.
And she said she put her vision board in the bathroom. And this is when in her struggling days, and she was trying to raise money to go and do something. I can't remember all the details, but she put it in the bathroom, and her friends were going in using the bathroom and coming out and going, well, your vision board is really interesting, and you got a travel thing there. How are you planning on doing that? She goes, well, I got to start saving some money, and I'm going to do these talks, and I'm going to. And she's telling them what her plan is, how to do it, and they're like, well, we'd like to invest in that because that seems like really good in your life. And she said, in no time, she had the money to do what was on her vision board. Like that was
Mm-hmm.
so cool because it's just there looking at you, and it's looking at everybody else, and you don't know, but someone's going to walk in and go, oh, you got a beach house in Hawaii? We got a beach house in Hawaii. What, you want a timeshare? Sure. Okay. Yay. I think I'll put that on my vision board.
A timeshare in Hawaii.
Yeah, but you know what? I have a niece now in Hawaii, so I can go visit her. I think, I hope she would love it, actually.
And so
You know,
would you.
it's just, I would. It's just knowing what is it that gives you that good feeling? What are the actions you can take? What is it that you really desire?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is distracting you?
Mm-hmm.
So action versus distraction.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Really being
Clear the
honest with
clutter.
yourself. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Clear the clutter.
It's a subject, you and I have been talking about and practicing for, most of our lives. And so if you're new to this, have fun with it. And there's a lot out there about it. And if you've been there, done that kind of thing, look at it again. Because I've uncovered a lot of new things over the years. As I wrote Manifestation Handbook 30 years ago.
I know. It's so interesting.
you
Yeah.
know and I don't know if I can find that on Amazon or not, but if I can, I'll link that.
Yeah.
And
Link that.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And the vision board is just, even the manifestation handbook that you've written, it's just another tool, right? To get us to where we're wanting to go. That's it. And we know where we're going when we have a vision, because it keeps changing.
Yeah.
And that's what we do as we move along in our lives. We
Yeah.
keep adjusing it.
Yeah,
as we
keep
go.
adjusting. Yeah, because human beings, we do need purpose and meaning. That's part of living a fulfilled life. Like, it is important to live most of your life in the present moment, but we talk about that all the time. And so it doesn't mean that we're not living in the present moment when we're focusing on manifestation and a dream. It's just that it's like, most of the time, the average person is thinking about the past and the future, and they're not in the present moment, maybe 5% of their day, And so there's so much more energy we can put in the present moment, but then there's still, we can still do vision boards and taking steps while still being present. So it's not in conflict with one another at all. They actually go hand in hand beautifully.
Well, and it's done. It's like there's so many things to do. There's so many. I had a lady in my office the other day, and she's an amazing human. She has so many tools, right? So many tools. And she said, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just here because I just need a reset. I just need a reset. I just need to just sit and talk with you about, where do I go from here? How do I start again? Like I'm full, And often when we do these journaling or vision boards, they're kind of little reminders of, oh, that's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
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 They're beautiful little tools.
Yeah. Resets are welcome.
Well, it's creating the life you love, an image at a time.
Yes.
A minute at a time, a second at a time. That's all we have, the moment. And adjust as we go.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Eddi, for this awesome topic. I appreciate it. We love you guys. Keep the comments coming. Keep the sharing coming. If you haven't written a review, I know a lot of you are following us, but if you haven't or not following us, please do. The reviews help us to share with more people. It really does make a difference, and that's why we mention it once in a while.
Yeah, and it helps us that we can feel the love more. We know you're listening and it's meaningful, and we're like, okay. And give us some things you'd like us to talk about. Throw some things at us that we can dig a little deep and take some deep dives.
We can talk about your topic and even mention your name.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
You have fun with your family.
Thanks, Ed.
I'm going off to see Rick Mercer and Jan Arden now, and I'm going to laugh at this show all evening. They're here in the city, and they're a couple of funny Canadians. So I love you.
Love you. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.